definitely going to make a splash in a small town like Epping, New Hampshire. Let's talk about Epping for a moment. It's a picturesque small town with a population a little over 6,000. So very small town.
Yeah, so she's going to an even smaller town than where she came from.
The area consists of sprawling farms such as Dr. LaBarre's, which, by the way, his land is like a very sought-after piece of real estate. A lot of historic architecture and friendly neighbors. With such a tight-knit community, word would soon travel fast about Sheila.
Well, I'm sure the little old ladies down at the church gatherings was like, oh my God, can you believe that harlot? Old Dr., what was his name?
Bill LaBarre.
Old Dr. LaBarre moved in over there. Oh my God.
Well, Dr. LaBarre was considered a pillar of the community and rich. Sheila had figured out that sexualizing herself would get her everything she wanted. Men were to be used, and Bill was no different. What was his would soon become Sheila's. Bill and Sheila quickly find themselves in a relationship. It is one that is financially beneficial to Sheila. And though the couple does not marry, she changes her last name to LaBarre. Bill lavishes her with a luxury car, a pickup truck. She takes up flying lessons, parading around the airfield in a skin-tight leopard print jumpsuit.
Oh my God, I want to go live with Bill.
Bill's daughter had worked as his office manager, but Sheila soon replaces her in that role. She begins isolating Bill from his friends and family. Sheila is a slave driver at the office, a real taskmaster. She's not allowing any time for goofing off. She's a hawk about payments and patient billing. If a patient falls behind at all, Sheila is immediately suing them in small claims court.
At what point does Mr. LaBarre say, wait a damn minute? Because, I mean, you're affecting my family, my relationships with, my family, my patients. It's a small town. And the first few times she sues somebody over payment, everybody's talking about it.
And here's an example of how Sheila isolated Bill from his family. Bill's cousin was renting the apartment above his doctor's office. Sheila wanted him out of that apartment, so she raises the rent so he can't afford to live there. And during this confrontation between the two, the cousin and Sheila, his dog mysteriously dies, and he believes that Sheila poisoned the dog.
My God.
Relatives say Bill went from being this fun-loving, kind man to a cowering shadow of his former self. Sheila manipulated him using sex to get what she wanted, and she was also physically abusive. Neighbors would recall multiple occasions when Bill would leave his own home in the middle of the night, knock on the door, and ask for a place to crash just so he could get away from Sheila.
Well, that's crazy. Like, Sheila's on the warpath again. Can I sleep on your porch?
Yes, exactly.
My God, he goes from a well-respected doctor, prominent, owns all this nice land, to like they said, a cowering shadow of himself. That's very obvious that she's a very manipulative person with all kinds of mental disorders.
And during this time, Sheila has gained quite a reputation around town. Her nickname is Sheila the Peeler, as she is often seen wearing little to no clothes. She is notorious for answering the door in nothing but a mink coat or skimpy lingerie. She wears scantily clad clothing out in town, very revealing. Sex is her tool. And Sheila is also known for being wildly promiscuous. Though she was supposedly in a relationship with Bill, she had many lovers in town and the surrounding area. Eventually, Sheila is going to coerce Bill into giving her power of attorney over his assets.
Oh, my God. That's the worst thing he could do.
Yeah, Bill's family is not going to be happy with this, and they even claim that Bill tried to get rid of Sheila several times. He even bought her a house in Tennessee, but she refused to go anywhere. And she had her hooks in Bill. She was here to stay.
Yeah, so it's about power for her, I'm sure, at this point. And no one's going to make her do anything. And she's just running roughshod over this whole town. And I bet the FedEx guy's like, oh, my God.
Oh, we'll get into that.
I got to go deliver this package to that damn place again.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Oh, maybe he's excited about
That's going to come up.
Okay.
Sheila's known for her temper as well. I mean, not only is she, and I hate to use this word, but she's kind of the town slut, right?
Yeah. Well, you call it like you see it.
Well, hey, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
But that's okay. That's
proud of
her
it.
smallest vagina in the world. She gets to do with it what she wants.
Exactly. But just to be, we'll just say Sheila's the town slut. And she makes threats to anybody who crosses her, often using the line, "I've got a gun and I know how to use it," when she gets mad at somebody. Sheila could be sweet as pie to folks, but if you got on her bad side, she was like a rabid animal. People understood if you had to deal with Sheila, it was in your best interest to stay on her good side.
So people would go into an interaction with her knowing they got to walk on eggshells, do whatever she says, or she's going to flip the hell out on you. And she sounds scary when she gets angry.
And she fixates on people if she feels like you've done something wrong or there's some sort of injustice.
She's going to destroy you if she can.
That's her mission.
Wow.
Absolutely. In a strange turn of events, Sheila gets married in 1995 to a Jamaican immigrant named Wayne Ennis. The pair live with Bill.
Okay.
I mean, it's such a strange situation. At some point, Wayne catches Sheila in bed with another man. Wayne calls 911 because during this confrontation, he catches his wife in bed with another man. Most husbands are going to have some sort of confrontation, right?
Yeah, he's like, "I can't believe you, Sheila."
She attacks him, even going as far as telling her lover to go outside and get her gun from the car.
"Hey, man, take that penis out of my wife."
Sometime after this altercation, Sheila asks Wayne if he'll kill Bill for her.
And I'm going to say no.
Wayne, being loyal to Bill, I mean, this guy's been really good to him. They live in Bill's house. Bill has been fairly accepting of this unusual situation, kind of like this three-way where Bill and Sheila are kind of together, but she's married to Wayne.
Well, yeah, so this guy comes from Jamaica, a fairly poor area, and he comes to this nice, sprawling farm, and Bill's been nice to him in every way, it sounds like. So is he going to help Bill out?
Well, Wayne tells Bill what's up, that Sheila wants him dead. And Bill quickly helps Wayne devise an escape plan. Bill even drives Wayne to the bus station, and Wayne hightails it out of there. By 1997, the marriage has ended in divorce.
So he just cleared Wayne out.
In 1998, Sheila finds herself in another tumultuous relationship, this time with a man named James Brackett. Now, these two are basically going to end up just beating the shit out of each other. The relationship is incredibly violent, which leads to both parties being arrested on assault charges more than once. Sheila threatens to stab him with cuticle scissors, much like she did her second husband years before. She leaves a huge cut on his head at one point, a pretty serious injury. During another assault, Sheila scratches his face. She twice pulls a gun on him, threatens to kill him at least 3 different times. She even hit him so hard with a grill basting brush that she caused severe dental trauma to his mouth. I think he lost between 2 to 3 teeth.
Oh, my God.
When she hit him with this brush.
Damn, she hit him right in the teeth with the damn brush? I bet it was a big one.
Finally, Brackett had to get the hell away from her before she killed him.
So, but he sounded like he was ready to fight back, kind of more of a personality like hers.
A little bit. I mean, it seems it was mostly in self-defense.
Yeah.
But he would fight her back because he said she's fucking crazy. She was going to kill him. I mean, he legit feared for his life. At one point, I read that he hiked like 20 miles, basically, to like some other town to get away from her, to go hide from her.
Jesus Lord.
And then she just showed up in a car and picked him up and like demanded he go back home with her.
Get in the car. We're going home.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kick your ass when we get there.
Sheila's scary.
I know. She is scary. She's very intense, has very intense looks.
In 2000, Bill dies of a heart attack, allegedly.
Yeah, I bet it was a heart attack.
Sheila, who now has power of attorney, insists Bill be cremated. She also insists that she is his common law wife and therefore entitled to inherit all of his property. When Sheila is awarded Bill's properties, those come with tax bills, including inheritance taxes, in the amount of $120,000.
Well, that goes to show you what a chunk of land, prime land he has.
He has like multiple pieces of property, business, homes. Yeah. Sheila found herself embroiled in a battle with the tax collector. And this is a woman who's simply doing her job. She is the tax collector. It is her responsibility to enforce this tax bill, or at least serve it and say, hey, this is what you owe, right?
But it's just the next target that's challenging Sheila in any way.
Sheila threatens the woman with a gun. She files formal complaints to the state, to anyone who will listen. She tries to sue this woman in court, all because she doesn't want to be responsible for this huge tax bill. And every outlet that Sheila exhausts in this tax battle basically rules that there's nothing going on here, these complaints are unfounded, and that this tax woman is basically just doing her job.
See, a sensible person, of course, a sensible person wouldn't have got the land, browbeat Bill. They never even got married, which is crazy, but she changes her name. Would just carve out 5 or 10 acres of this 180 acres, sell it off, and pay the tax bill. That's what a normal person would do, but she's not normal.
And as you mentioned, she couldn't produce any kind of formal marriage license, so she has to argue that she is the common law wife because they've been together for 17 years. She threatened a mortician into cremating Bill because Bill's family, his children, did not want to have Bill cremated. And Sheila basically threatened this mortician, pulled a gun on him and said, you will cremate Bill.
At what point is this woman get arrested?
She behaves this way to law enforcement. Everyone in the town is just wow, okay, it's just Sheila. She's a nut.
Now, that could have been yet another power play, but that's very suspicious about demanding he be cremated now.
Exactly. Right. Well, after Bill's death, Sheila finds herself alone with a sizable farm. She begins frequenting a homeless shelter, offering jobs to various drifters who come through. She'll give them room and board in exchange for farm work. Over the next few years, a variety of men will pass through Sheila's doors, many not only serving as farmhands, but as her bedmates as well. This woman is horny as fuck.
Well, it sounds like she has some kind of, I don't know if you'd call it sexual addiction, but some issue with sex.
She's hypersexual, for
sure.
sure.
And that can, typically, if you're abused at especially a young age, you can go 2 different routes. Be, inactive and, really shy about sex, or, her, the other end of the spectrum, crazy as hell and a nympho.
She had an unusual taste in men, too. It seems Sheila favored men who were mentally disabled, but sexually active. If they were on the slow end or seemingly mentally handicapped, Sheila would scoop them up.
Well, I'm going to say there's a reason for that.
The more Rubenesque her body became did not slow her down, though it did likely slow down the number of men who were willing to bang a horny housewife. Her rep got so bad that some companies completely refused to make deliveries to her doorstep.
Oh, okay, here we go.
So as you mentioned, the FedEx man, UPS, the mailman, any local business that made deliveries, it got to a point where they would not deliver to Sheila's house.
So they was like, well, 4 years ago, she looked pretty good, and it wasn't that big a deal to show up at the door naked with a damn fire poker threatening to kill me. But now it's not so much fun.
Well, and maybe not. Well, let's give men some credit. Maybe not all delivery men want to deliver their package. You know what I'm saying?
Not all of them want to be in a 1970s cheesy porno.
Right, exactly.
Special delivery.
You're a faithful husband. You wouldn't want to go make a delivery to some skanky woman like Sheila.
So if I went to do a fence estimate and a woman answered, I would tell her, excuse me, you need to get your... Actually, I would just leave. Because I'd be like, I'm not going to be anywhere near this bullshit.
See, I know this about you.
See?
So, there are other men out there who feel the same way. Not everybody wants to have sex with Sheila.
I think most of the delivery guys are wholesome guys with families.
Neighbors would joke behind Sheila's back that she was running a stud farm.
Oh, because all the guys in and out?
Sheila would later say she liked having men spend the night at her house because it was haunted and she was scared to be there by herself.
Okay, you could just move.
She talks quite a bit about, and she calls him the captain, is the ghost that haunts her house.
Oh, okay.
While the farm was kept up, the house fell into disrepair. Parts of the home were rotting, porches falling apart, screens ripped off, wide pine flooring inside the house totally warping. Sheila no longer slept in the master bedroom. It sat empty, but she did keep this huge nude portrait of herself on the dresser. I guess never let them forget the tits and ass.
Oh, my God.
Rule the world. There were black trash bags covering the windows so neighbors couldn't see inside the house. And at some point, Sheila says that is because she was having so much sex in the house. She didn't want nosy neighbors to see what she was doing inside.
Man, could you imagine how the